evening, late night freaks. I'm here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip. And we are going to be diving into what's on deck in November for all the signs. We kicked it off with Scorpio since it is Scorpio's birthday season. And we're going to let them have the court first, of course, and go in order with all the signs from there. We were able to get through Scorpio and Sagittarius in the first video. So if you have placements in either of those signs, check that out. We're going to be starting with Capricorn on this video right here and moving forward from there. I'm going to get you all taken care of, okay? We're going to just dive into what's going on with this lunar cycle, which is a packed lunar cycle in this month of November. We are sandwiched in between eclipses. We got the full moon lunar eclipse coming up in Taurus on the 8th of November that wraps up a year-long cycle, will be the last eclipse of 2022. And then later on in the month, we have that new moon in Sagittarius that'll usher in Sag season, big Sag energy, big Jupiter energy. We got a stellium in Sagittarius with that new moon. So lots of expansion on offer, lots going down. And we're just going to dive in and get a little GPS for the in-between space, the space in between, which is where all the magic happens when we're neither here nor there. And we're just kind of floating around in that sea of possibility, and anything can happen. Okay, so I'm hoping to retrieve some tools for all of you so you can make best use of the energies on offer. Maybe pull a rabbit or two out of the hat and pull something off that you maybe couldn't have otherwise. And also just how to move through this lunar cycle in the most empowering way with the least amount of stress, right? That's good for all of us. So when I call out signs in the read, that's for any strong placement in signs, sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node. We're throwing Mercury, Mars in the mix because of what's going on with the astrology, and as well as a packed house, okay? That's 3 or more planets. The stellium in that house can really have a strong influence. So tune in. And as always, be open to the messages that they come in. I am reading for a collective, so that's a very broad spectrum of people. Take what resonates with you, leave the rest. I just bring the messages as they want to come through. And it's coming in for somebody. So even if it's not your story, it is somebody. So let that person have the opportunity to receive the guidance that they need. Cross-watcher energy can also come in on the scene. That may be activating for you at some times because you get to see the other person's perspective. What I would like to alert people to when it comes into cross-watcher energy is that it really can give you a lot of insight. If it's something that's activating you and you're thinking, no, but that's how I feel, like, how can they even possibly think that? You have to remember relationships are mirrors. So in some way, they're reflecting back to you something that you're not able to see. It gives you a different perspective. And if you can see that, hey, this person's also feeling upset just like me, then maybe there can be some way to find, a point of understanding, right? A point of understanding. So I want to get diving into these reads without further ado. I don't want to waste any time. We'll see how many I get through. And let's see, I want to pull up Capricorn's banner. I will be putting all of the timestamps in. This is a pre-recorded video, so I have to wait for it to air live and for me to get access to the comment section. But once I do, I will gladly put those timestamps for you so you don't have to worry about watching through other signs readings that you're not interested in hearing. You can just skip ahead. All right, Capricorn, we're here for you. Let's see what is coming in for the Capricorn collective. Capricorn, sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node, Mercury, Mars, or packed 10th house. What is coming in for the Capricorn collective as they move through this month of November and this current astrological climate? What is the best way they can hone into their sense of direction and move boldly into that expansion on offer at the end of the month with clear sight set ahead? show up with some love for the Capricorn collective. Bottom of the deck energy, we got the 10 of Cups on offer. Okay, so we know that at least you're thinking of fulfillment, you're considering fulfillment. There's some kind of happiness on offer, some kind of promise of a new beginning. I'm getting that you're hoping for a renewal or a new beginning in love. Maybe you've had kind of a rough time. Maybe you've been feeling a little depleted in the love department. Maybe the cup's been a little empty for a while. You're hoping to get your fill. Maybe you're really thirsty. You really want it to be filled to the brim. You don't want just one cup, you want 10 of them. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, it's really interesting. It looks like you've had a really big turnaround, Capricorn. We see that kind of the foundation of this matter is that there was something that you had your sights set on with the sun here, and it was something that you thought was going to bring you a lot of happiness. I think you had been fixated on this for quite some time. You even made plans to move forward in this direction. We see that with the Fool here, okay? The Fool is all about taking a risk, stepping into a new cycle, beginning a new adventure and trying something completely new. I think there was something that inspired you that you were going after, something that you wanted to reach. You had some goal in mind, a goal that was going to give you great happiness. But we see that there's been some kind of ending that's taken place here with the Ten of Swords. Like, this is kind of like my, put a fork in it. It's done card. It's like, this is it. It's kind of like no point in reviving this. No point in resuscitating this with the Ten of Swords. It's definitely like this is something that's been deaded. There's been a decision made here to leave this behind. We always have to have some kind of ending before there can be a new beginning in our lives. But this is interesting because it seems that this new beginning is directly in relation to this Ten of Swords. Like somewhere along the line, this took a drastic turn. That's what I'm getting. It was very unexpected. I think it has something to do with security. Like someone is really feeling that like maybe there's like some kind of risk element involved with heading in this direction, even though it did provide like a source of inspiration to you at one point or excitement. And it was kind of beckoning you on, to go down and explore this path. Something made you put it in reverse. I think you were worried about your, wow, you were worried about your security. And then I turned up this card here and we have the Devil in reverse. I think you recognized that you were dealing with the devil. Capricorn, this is your card though. The devil is your card. And so maybe it's like the devil inside. I'm hearing that old In Excess song, devil inside, every single one of us, the devil inside. I think that you really recognized that something about this direction you were going to head off into was actually being inspired by a part of yourself that you recognized was really actually threatening your security. There was something that was very risky about moving in this direction, but at the same time, there was something very unhealthy about it that was highlighted to you. And I see that you stopped this. You stopped this because you want to turn this behavior around. You also felt like you were really disempowered in this direction. There was something about heading off in this direction that ultimately ended up being disempowering for you. You felt like it made you feel weak. It made you feel not as stable as you normally do. There's something around this that you really felt the need to shift. I see that you've been working on turning this energy around. I'm also getting some other messages in with this though. So, okay, now unpick this up. And the whole deck is in reverse. Okay, so I am going to turn this right back around. All right. But I am taking these first two cards here because they play a significant role, especially with that devil coming in reverse. Did you suspect that somebody was doing some kind of love workings on you? Like come to me spell or something along these lines? Because we got the magician in reverse with the devil in reverse to the two of cups in reverse. And with this security piece in here, with the four of pentacles, I want you to look at how they have this shield covering their heart. You know, they're holding that pentacle up. Now, pentacles are also symbols of protection. And you got it right over your heart in this image here. And I feel like this is also just about you felt like your security really got rocked in this connection. So now with seeing the Fool come in with the Sun here, I'm almost wondering if this is a feeling like a bit of glamour got cast on you. Like there was this manipulation, like somebody was really playing with your emotions. There's definite manipulation here. If you're not somebody who runs like with people who are involved in the occult or people who work on that level, this is a case where somebody is like seriously sadistically manipulative that you were dealing with. Like they get off on messing with people's minds. You know, that's what I'm getting. There's like it's like an emotionally abusive component in this connection here. But for a lot of you, I am getting a really, really strong impression that somebody did some kind of working here. And I need to pull out this deck because I want to get a little bit of guidance on this one here. That's really some kind of heavy hitting cards in that regard to get that Two of Cups coming in with the Devil with the Magician in reverse. I'm not digging that energy at all. I'm getting like a real feeling of like some kind of love binding work. Not good, man. I mean, people mess around with this stuff. It can really, really backfire. It's not a game. It's not a fucking joke, man. People don't take this stuff seriously, but it has an effect. It has an effect. If we're all energetically connected, if it's all one energy, you have to understand that manipulating energy can have really disastrous results when it's done with this kind of like malice intent. It's very damaging. And you know what you'll often see happen in these cases where people do these kind of workings. Because let me tell you, in my line of work, I've done a lot of stuff where I've had to support people in unraveling their workings because they'll come to me and they'll be like, oh my God, I'm dealing with this crazy situation. It's a big mess. And then I'll ask them, did you do a love spell? And then they're like, well, you know, I did this. And they'll kind of like try to explain it away. And they don't understand, like some people don't really understand that you can't like manipulate love. If you're trying to put a love spell on somebody, you're immediately infringing on their free will. And when you mess with love in particular, there's really harsh backlash for that. The piper always needs to be paid, okay? So don't ever, to those of you listening in that, you know, aren't savvy to the ways of the occult, don't ever listen to these people. Like you'll sometimes see them show up on, you know, YouTube comment sections saying, oh, I can help you get your old love back, or I can help draw the person you want to you, you know, just hit up my Cash App, you know, I'll give you everything you've been desiring and more. You know, it's like that's a deal with the devil, you know, and they can try to sell you a pretty picture and tell you it's not manipulative and it won't have any negative result. Let me tell you, what happens is when people do these love workings, they end up, the person who casts the spell, they actually end up really obsessed. I've seen it happen so many times. And I feel like this is a case of what you're dealing with, Capricorn. Somebody is dealing with this, and I have to bring it in because it's super strong, and I'm going to get clarification on this situation. But I got a big download here. You had an attraction to this person. You were really drawn to this person. You maybe had plans to go traveling with this person. It felt like a breath of fresh air to you. Maybe you'd gone through a really long time where you didn't feel fulfilled. You were wanting some love. You were wanting some happiness in your life, and this person came in and and kind of washed you over with all these feelings and all these high hopes, and you had a lot of expectations in this situation. You know, expectation can always be the seed of disappointment. And I think you started to really see things turn in this matter. You started to notice a change in this person's demeanor that was very unsettling to you. You noticed that this person was manipulative, that they would say things that sounded really good, but their actions weren't kind of matching up. And slowly but surely, you started feeling more and more imbalanced the longer you were in contact with this person. It started to rock your own sense of personal stability, like almost like, look at with the Fool card here. You know, the Fool has their head in the clouds, you know, and they're kind of feeling all inspired, and they're feeling so excited about their new direction, but they're neglecting to look at where they're going, you know. And maybe you felt like you walked right up to the edge of the cliff. And I just heard that song, you know, don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Some Grandmaster Flash shit, okay? I'm talking about old school. I think you felt like that. I think it like rocked you and destabilized you. And I think you also noticed that as you kind of tried to get some space from this person, I believe you tried to create some space from this person so you kind of get your head clear. You noticed that this individual started to get like almost more persistent, more clingy. And I think you're dealing with somebody now that actually it's a little unnerving of a situation. I think you're worried about this person and how they could negatively impact you. I think you got somebody who's become a bit obsessive, and I think it's related to a working they did on you. That's honestly, that's what's coming through for me. I'm going to do a shuffle with these cards, with the occult cards, just to follow through on that story, because I want to get some clarity for somebody that is dealing with that situation. It does seem to be front and center, and it really wants to be addressed. So we're going to look at it. For others of you, this is in relation to like a love tryst I get. I don't feel like it was a really serious relationship. I think it's something that had the promise to be, you know, the potential that it could be, and maybe that was the intention, that it would be like this beautiful romantic connection, but I feel like it's something that never fully got off the ground. I think it could have been more like a sneaky links kind of situation, or like a hookup type of connection, friends with benefits kind of thing. And somebody became overly attached, and they are, again, I'm picking up this very pushy kind of energy that's clingy. It feels clingy and it feels demanding at the same time. And I think this has left you feeling a little unsettling in your present circumstances, and you're kind of wondering what's going to happen with this individual. So let me just see, for the person that is dealing with somebody who did a love working, could you give me a little insight about this situation so we can give Capricorn some guidance about what's going on here for those who are dealing with somebody who did a love working? Help them understand how to best move through the situation and deal with this as we're moving through this month in November. Give some insight about this so we can give them some curios, some recommendations of what they can do to kind of lift this energy and reverse this situation. Flip that energy up, reverse it, send it back from whence it came, man. It's not yours to hold, that's for sure. All right. I mean, the thing with that is that with love spells, they're going to lose their potency on the target anyway. You know, it's actually the person who's casting that shit that's actually binding themselves. It's quite ironic, man. Yeah, some people have to learn lessons the hard way. All right, this is really taking its time. I feel like this is something that's been very concealed, you know, very concealed, very subversive. This person is really good at kind of hiding this aspect of themselves. You know, maybe they come off as sickly sweet. I just got that. Like they kind of come off sickly sweet, like, oh, just so kind and sweet and bubbly and effervescent. Where that's coming from. Okay, this is associated, yeah, with 7 of Wands. This is Glacia Labolas. Causes murder and bloodshed, tells of things to come, causes the love of friends or enemies, can make one invisible. Like I said, like it's very subtle, it's very subversive. I'll look at this right here. It's associated with the 7 of Wands card, so that lets me know that you need to do some defense against this energy. You need to block this energy. If you are still in communication with this individual and you have been picking up on your radar some unsettling vibes, please be smart. Like, stop talking to this person. You need to block this person. You need to block their phone number. You need to block all access, and you need to let them know in no uncertain terms, I do not want you to contact me again. I don't want anything to do with you. I'm not comfortable with this situation, because we can see that this could potentially turn aggressive. I don't like some of the warnings that are coming in here. This also applies for those of you who are just dealing with somebody who's become obsessive with you and is too much in your space. And I'm not trying to like frighten anybody, but this is coming in. And so this is something that you need to be mindful of. If something is not feeling right to you, then trust that. If you go out on a date with somebody and they're getting pushy with you and they're trying to, persuade you to go back to their place with them and you're not feeling right about it, like, do not go. Do not go. If somebody tries to buy you a drink when you're out dancing with your girlfriends and you don't want the drink, do not take the drink, okay? Because you don't know what they put in that drink. There's a need here, 22:22 on the clock when I said that. There is some need here. There is somebody that's coming around you, and they are not the most balanced individual. This is what I'm getting. They are not the most balanced individual. They have some kind of unhealthy attachment to you. They're a bit obsessive. For those who do move in the occult and you know that this person is involved in the occult, I believe they've done some kind of love binding working. Otherwise, this is somebody who's just too fixated on you. And maybe you picked up on this and you start to pull your energy back, and you might be seeing this person making a resurgence. You might be seeing this person kind of trying to get in contact with you again. I think you really need to be like, this is a situation that requires like this, like total, like Queen of Swords kind of energy where you just cut it off cold. You cut it off cold. You stop following them on all of your social media platforms. You block them. You block all access to you. And it needs to come through very strongly like that, because this is a situation. You might be dealing with a fire sign, because I just heard if you play with fire, you're going to get burned. That's what I just heard. Like, this person is not in the place to be fucked with. So if you think maybe, oh, well, maybe it might be fun to like, just have like a little fling with this person, I think you're playing with something you shouldn't be messing with. I think it's going to cause problems. I really think the best thing to do first is, even in a case where somebody's done some kind of workings on you, because really a working that somebody does on you, it can't really affect you ultimately unless you enter into an agreement with that energy. There has to be this agreement for that exchange of energy. And usually that agreement comes about through continued interaction with the individual. Really feeds the cord, it feeds that cord of attachment. So you need to be able to like let go and extricate yourself from this person. By you creating that space, you're no longer giving them that energy supply. You know what I'm saying? And then that energy just automatically comes back. It automatically comes back to them, and they got to deal with what they tried to project on you. That's ultimately what it is. They do it to themselves. All right. I'm just getting a real like unstable vibe with this person. I want to look more into this. Bottom of the deck energy, we got 5 of Wands. Yeah, Agaris. Teaches languages, causes earthquakes, overthrows politicians or clergymen, returns returns those who have run away. Yeah, so maybe this person was ghosted in the past. Maybe they ghosted you, maybe you ghosted them. I feel like this person's going to come back on the scene. What are they coming back for? They're combative with the Five of Wands. That's a combative kind of energy. I feel like there's going to be a lot of kind of like, disruption around this person coming around. Maybe even disruption in your home. It could disrupt the stability of your home with the Four of Wands here with person. Knows all things hidden, answers truly about things earthly or divine. So, I think that there really is a need to listen to your intuition. Like, you already know the truth in this situation. You know that you need to create distance between this person. And I feel like we're kind of dealing with a situation where maybe you've tried to be nice. Maybe you've tried to keep some kind of connection, and you don't understand that this situation is just like, it's just brewing beneath the surface and it's reaching a pressure point. Yeah, like I was saying, you need to move into this like Queen of Swords energy. We have Queen of Swords on the top of the deck here. This is energy coming in to utilize. We have Andrealphus. Andrealphus teaches geometry and measurements, increases one's intelligence, can transform a person into a bird. All right, so to me, this is really talking about, you need to transform this situation to create freedom in this situation. And that freedom comes from you just truly engaging that steely intellect, right, of that Queen of Swords energy, where you can look at things as they are and make a very clear decision. There's also somebody who may be able to support you in this situation and helping you navigate this situation. This may be a person that has a certain kind of intellectual insight into this situation, maybe as an outside observer or somebody who has some kind of, distance from what you're dealing with, where they're not personally involved or emotionally engaged in the situation. So it allows them to bring in some sound judgment that could support you. This could be somebody who's a counselor. You might want to reach out for some counseling. If this is a relationship that you were in where there was some kind of like abusive angle and you need some support because you're feeling unsafe and you need to figure out a way to navigate that. There definitely is that need, though, to like work with that air element, which is about moving out of the charged emotions and is more about moving just into a very plain, clear way of looking at things and seeing things. It's about looking at what's true and only what's true. That's what that Queen of Swords energy represents. Aries, I don't know why I said Aries. I keep doing this with air signs. Aries is a fire sign, but for some reason, Aries has been getting all intermingled with the air signs lately in my reads. Every time I'm channeling, it comes through. So I'm just going to let it go ahead and flow. There's some reason why that wants to come in. So I feel like, Aries, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, these might be people that, you can turn to like get a little insight. Maybe you're afraid about opening up about this situation for some reason, but I think that this person can help you get a little clarity in this matter. So you might want to open up about what you're dealing with. Oh, there we go. King of Wands comes in right after that. This is Asmodeus. Makes men fly into passionate rage and desire, destroys the happiness of married couples, wastes the beauty of virgins, reveals the future. Wow, King of Wands, fire sign energy. Okay, so then Aries decided to make an appearance anyway. Okay, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You may be dealing with an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You may have a fire sign or air sign strongly aspected in your chart. You may be dealing with somebody who has both air and fire in their chart. I do believe that there is a third party interference here that is causing this kind of disruption, and it feels like there's some kind of manipulation in play. There's some kind of game playing in here. I just thought that somebody is sort of out for revenge. There might be an ex in the mainframe. There might be some kind of spurned ex in the mainframe. And their goal, their whole goal is to break apart a couple, to divide two people. Now, in terms of not looking at a romantic situation, this could also be in terms of dealing with a family situation, some kind of family dynamic. But there's somebody causing dissension. There's somebody that is stirring up drama for the sake of trying to split two people apart. And I believe it's because there's somebody from the past, and it feels like it's a past love connection that is wanting to interfere with the dynamic. And there's like this revenge piece. There's this revenge piece here. Really, the guidance that's coming through for you is you need to block out this energy. Cut of the deck energy, we got 3 of Cups. Again, that's like my third party sign, 3 of Cups, when other signals like this are coming up on the board. Gushin reconciles friends, tells of the past, present, and future, gives dignities, honors. Okay, so I see that there's this piece here where it's like, if you had some third party that you were entertaining or exploring, and now it's taken a really rough turn, and you're feeling like your security is threatened and things feel a little activated and unstable, you're not sure what to do. And there's been a certain level of fallout that's occurred between you and another person as a result of this individual's interference, this third party's interference. I think you might want to reach out, to that person that got pushed away in this situation, let them know what's going on. It seems like there's some kind of volatile element in this situation that needs to be addressed. It's really important. Other side of that, we have the 4 of Swords, which is Simius, teaches grammar, logic, and rhetoric, can make one appear like a soldier. Again, I feel like there just needs to be a hard line with this third party. There needs to be a hard line with this individual who has moved into this obsessive state. You can't leave things in any kind of way open-ended with this person, because there is a storm brewing, and it has the potential for aggression to be the end result. You don't want to be looking back down the road and thinking, oh my God, I wish I would have handled that. I wish I would have cut that off. I wish I would have blocked that person. And then this horrible thing wouldn't have happened. Then this person I cared about wouldn't have been hurt, or I wouldn't have been hurt. You know what I'm saying? There's a need for protection in this situation. So, just to help yourself feel better, I definitely encourage you, if you've been dealing with any kind of dynamic like this where you're feeling unsafe, keep a record. Keep a record of the phone calls, write down the time the person's calling. You need to really sort of track harassment is important if you're ever going to have any kind of leg to stand on. If you decide to bring something forward in relation to this, like if you have a need to get some kind of restraining order or something along these lines. But there is something where this is not a situation really to be toyed with. I feel like you need to get a real firm line going with this individual. And I do feel that you have some people around you who are clear-headed and they are not connected to this situation, and they can really help you. So there's definitely somebody that you need to clear out of your space. And if you want to clear your energy, you can give yourself some energy clearing baths, that can help a lot. Just kind of get energy that isn't yours off of you and out of your space, so you can feel more clear and grounded in your body. You can do that with, just really simply 2 cups of Epsom salt or sea salt with 2 cups of baking soda, and soak for 20 minutes. You'll feel brand new after that. Okay. It'll really make you feel like you got your space back. And I feel like you need that. You need that. You need to not feel this energy pulling on you anymore. It's really disrupting your sense of stability. I feel like there's this piece about your stability that feels really rocked. I want to get some messages from these cards here too before I move on to Aquarius, because it's kind of a heavy message. And I Oh, I'm glad to get that. Cut of the deck energy. We do have the star. Okay, so this lets me know that, yeah, look here with this water, I think it would be good to do some spiritual cleansing baths. Also, if you have the luxury to be near a body of water like the ocean, which is just so cleansing. It's so spiritually cleansing to go and spend some time in those negative ions, breathe in that fresh, salty air and, give yourself a little cleansing with that water. It makes such a big difference. And just feeling connected to the land, it can really ground you out. The ocean is a wonderful place to go for purification, any large natural body of water, really. But there's also the piece of, give yourself your spiritual baths. That can be something that is absolutely able to just make you feel renewed, make you feel like you have your own energy back. And if you want to add other things to that bath that you're inspired to add, you can. You can put like a tea base made from different kinds of protective plant allies. Like you could use bay leaf, you could use rosemary. Um, you could even put like lemon peel in there. You could work with Florida water. All of these things are very cleansing. White rose petals. And you can add these things to your baths. You can even put like a clear quartz crystal in just to give you clarity, sort of just clear the energy, hold it down. You can also bring in all kinds of, music that helps to relax you, different like Tibetan bowls, hertz frequencies that harmonize the energy in your home. Really look at creating a space around yourself as you move through November where you can just get back into your own energy. I feel like that's really the main thing that you need to do at this time. And then, of course, take practical steps to block this person. Look, because we got that Five of Wands coming up on the bottom of the deck here. There is hope on the other side of this, all right? You're going to get through this time. You're going to be able to cleanse yourself of this energy and be free of this drama, but there's a need to block it. You cannot kid yourself. I don't care if you had, a connection to this person that at one point felt good, with that Two of Cups. There's something here you can't see. Look, we got the High Priestess there here. This is like something happening beneath the surface. And I'm really telling you, I'm getting a strong, strong hit. Somebody did some kind of working. And it has look at the deck, Judgment. That's like, this is the facts. Look, a love working on the other side. I'm telling you, somebody did something like this. And it has the feel to me. I mean, no shade, but it has the feel to me of like Instagram witch shit. It's like somebody who's like playing around with stuff. They don't really understand what they're working with. They don't understand the ramifications. They may have not had like really any, ill intentions necessarily. They weren't acting out of their, most evolved energy. They just Seven of Swords, man. They just wanted what they wanted and they didn't care how it affected anybody. But see, when that energy comes back around, notice how they're trying to get away with something. They're trying to steal away these Four of Swords, trying to walk away with that. And Four of Swords is all about rest. It's all about letting go. So it's like, maybe when you told this person that you're like, I don't know, I'm not really interested in having a commitment. Maybe you did explore a connection with them for a little bit. Maybe you went on a few dates or whatever, and you started feeling they got a little bit clingy, and you kind of said, I just want to, have friendly connection. I'm not interested in anything serious right now. If you notice that things really started to change after that, they started to become very, very attached to you, very persistent, like on your ass all the time, and also kind of felt like they were getting a little bit more pushy, more aggressive in their tone, be mindful of this, okay? Be mindful of this. The thing is that this person doesn't understand is, I feel like they did something on you to kind of disrupt your rest. I don't know if you've been having trouble sleeping at night. It really has the feeling of somebody trying to control somebody, like a control spell. Like they wanted to create confusion and destabilization in you. They wanted you to feel what they felt you made them feel. And I know that sitting on your side, that feels like totally crazy and doesn't feel right at all because this was somebody that you didn't even have like a really deep connection with. but that energy is going to boomerang right back on them. Do you notice how the Three of Swords comes right back at them toward their back as they think they're walking away, getting away with something? You need to not kid yourself about this situation. You need to cut this person off. And even if they are not somebody who's privy to this kind of stuff, they don't know how to do workings, they don't run in those kind of circles. This is somebody who's unstable. They're unstable. And there is a need for you to cut off the energy and stop entertaining it. Stop thinking that you're being nice by letting this energy still have access to you, letting this person still, oh yeah, man, look at this. And don't even think about sleeping with this person unless you want an STD. Do you want a sexually transmitted demon? Do you want them to get corded into you? Look at this. We got the Ace of Wands in reverse. It's like, do not take any action here, and certainly do not give this person the wand. Bad idea. You're going to need to have strength in this situation. You need to block this energy. All right. Card associated with Leo, the Sun card that opened up your reading, also associated with Leo. You did have fire sign energy show up in your read quite significantly. So we have some quite strong Leo markers on the board. So I don't know if this is in relation to a Leo, but there is a need for you really to take the practical steps and block this energy. And that looks like that's really your main work. That, and just really having good, solid boundaries. Don't worry about no love spell shit. It's not going to do anything to you. Obviously, you already decided to put an end to this. So, that's the thing. It's like, you can't make anybody love you, man. You can't make anybody stay that doesn't want to stay. So eventually they're going to snap out of it. It may have disrupted your sense of well-being a bit. You may have had some trouble sleeping. You may have found that you were feeling unlike yourself. Maybe you felt a little foggy headed, a little out of sorts, just felt a little off. Maybe you felt like you were kind of having a little bit of a run of bad luck. That's what happens when somebody tries to like throw that kind of energy on you, right? But I think that you're like snapped out of it. I think you felt that this energy was coming from this person, even if you didn't know what to label it as. It just like didn't feel right to you. So, that's great. But now it's like, follow it through. I feel like you still have little threads of connection to this person, and you need to just be real blunt about it, and don't leave any room for guessing in this person's consciousness, because honestly, with what I'm picking up on this person's energy, it's not fair to them either. Like, they're not going to be able to heal. So this is something to be mindful of, and it's definitely a very sensitive situation. And I do advise you that if you are feeling unsafe, you need to let people know what's going on. You need to let, some of your friends, some of your loved ones know what's going on, so they can help support you in this situation. It's super important. And trust your gut. If you're out on a date, if you're hanging out around anybody, don't be afraid of looking rude. If something doesn't feel right to you, don't let it in. I feel like this is just a big message coming up for you. Okay. Pretty heavy, man. Pretty heavy, but it looks like you'll get beyond it. Okay. It looks like you'll get beyond it. You just need to really be serious about blocking this energy and stop entertaining it. Stop fucking around, or you're going to find out. Okay. All right, we're going to move on to Aquarius, because that was really intense. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. But there's a lot going on with this lunar cycle. So at the same time, it's not too surprising for me, right? Be aware out there, people. Like, you really have to trust your intuition at this time. If something doesn't feel right to you, don't ignore it. You're not meant to take action right now, all right? You're not meant to take action right now, especially in situations where you feel the least bit activated or volatile. Like, just let it be, let it rest for a little bit. Things are going to appear a lot clearer when we get more toward, the end of November, and we got that new moon Sagittarius stellium, coming in. It's just going to be like, it's just going to be like this big, bold light, coming onto the scene, putting a spotlight on what we couldn't see. And from there, you'll be able to be aligned with the right actions. And yeah, look at this. Everything will really start getting moving with this 8 of Wands energy. And there is something that will get moving in a love situation. I believe it's a message that's going to come in for you, Aquarius. Okay, we got the Lovers right here. We do see this swan coming in. Swan is associated with grace. Okay, so there's a little bit of spirit orchestration here, a little bit of kismet going on. We have a message coming in. I think this person has been thinking about this message, sending this message. Maybe you been thinking of sending this message, Aquarius, or maybe somebody's been thinking of sending this message to you. It does look like with this little mouse here on the scene that there's been a lot of attention to detail put in this message. I think there's been a trying to find the right words, like how do I express what I want to express, that there's some connection you're feeling. I think you feel almost like kind of a whimsical sort of magical connection with this person. I feel like this person has something inside of them that feels familiar to you. It could be somebody that you've been involved with before. It could also be somebody where you just have this really strong soul recognition. And I think you're wanting to explore this connection. You might even want to, go on some kind of like road trip or some kind of, some kind of vacation with this person so you can drop in with each other and reconnect. I'd say reconnect, which is interesting. I didn't mean to say reconnect. Maybe this is somebody you're reconnecting with. Okay. I think things will really get moving though with that Eight of Wands. That tends to be transformation too with this butterfly energy in the background. You got a lot of like uh, animal spirit medicine coming through for you. You're in a process of transformation right now. I feel like you're not at this place yet where you're ready to fly. You know what I'm saying? I think there may be a travel piece really strongly associated with this. There's something about travel. It could be this person's at a distance. I think there is a lot of online communication. I see like the DMs like lighting up. I think once this initial message gets sent, the communication really picks up. There's a lot of back and forth going on. And it's something exciting. I don't feel like this will really start to play out though until it's been about 8 weeks from now. So I see this more as kind of coming in once we hit that winter season with winter solstice. And yeah, there's like an invitation that comes forward here with the Page of Cups. Okay. Again, it comes through in a message. It's something small, right? Some kind of small emotional gesture. It doesn't feel very big, but there's a lot more going on here. It's like this small gesture took a lot. It took a lot to get to the place of making this small gesture of reaching out. Oh my. God. This is the second time this has happened when I've been doing these November reads. This happened in the last video too. The blocking energy is so real right now. What I really got out of that is that look at this bottom of the deck energy, Aquarius. You're ready to start this new chapter. You know exactly where you want to go. You are so ready for it. You are just ready to hit the ground running. And what I'm getting is you need to hold off. Your timing is a little off, okay? This energy is being held back right now for a reason. So if you find yourself kind of going in between this place, like, I should just do this right now, to then kind of like pulling your energy back because you start to feel a little anxiety, just trust what you're feeling, okay? It's not time for bold actions yet. Wait until that new moon comes in Sagittarius at the end of November. That'll be a better time to move into expansion. There's something about taking a little pause here for a moment. Your timing needs to be better aligned, all right? So just hold off. Likewise, if you have a person come towards you with an offer right now, and this is somebody that you haven't heard from for a bit, maybe it seems appealing, maybe they're inviting you to go on some kind of trip with them, they want to connect with you, they want to reignite that spark with you, just hold it off. I just had a card fly out with that, so we're going to see what that's all about, okay? Just hold off a little bit. Yeah, read between the lines of this message, okay? There's something here for those of you that are going to be receiving a message. Read between the lines. Notice, I just got this. Notice what's not being said. Notice what's not being said. There's this need to kind of let things develop a little bit further where you're starting to see that the actions are really backing up what's being said, okay? This person's selling you a pretty picture, but what are they doing? What is actually going down? That's what's important here. We do see that there's an opportunity for a new beginning here, a real new beginning, a tangible offer. I don't think this situation with this person really gets rooted and develops until sometime in the spring, though, okay? See, this is sort of like a to be continued situation. This is something you're building slowly right now, okay? So no rash actions. Just give a little bit of a breathing room. We do see that this will pan out. There's going to be a solid offer on the board. In some cases, this offer is in relation to a business proposition. And I see that there's something you're going to be hammering out. This also may be the reason why you need to put romance on hold for just a little bit. I see you are working really hard, you know, and maybe it's frustrating because you kind of want to explore some other things that you want to grow in your life. Maybe you're wanting a little romance, you know, you're wanting to have a little fun, you're wanting to let your hair hang down, but you got some business to attend to and you got a big project you're working on. You're in a big push right now. See it through, finish it through. That will allow you to have that freedom to, you know, sort of go and enjoy yourself a little lover's jaunt, drop in with this person, get reconnected and, you know, explore possibilities in your relationship. But there is this piece about the timing isn't quite right to move forward romantically, but there is something that's really developing on a business level that's going to move you out of a position of feeling like you're just working your ass into the ground and not really getting anywhere. There's something that's going to be tweaked, something that's going to be revamped in this cycle as you move through November that's going to give you a new direction to head with your business that's really going to increase your finances. But there's some kind of disappointment that comes through this. Something's going to come through that at first appears like a loss to you. It feels like a disappointment. Maybe you thought you're going to head in one direction in terms of your business, and then you discovered that you're going to head into an altogether different direction because some new opportunity comes in. It does require you to like sign on to some kind of contract. It does require you to make some kind of legal agreement. There's some kind of terms that need to be reached in this matter, but I feel like this is something that's really beneficial for you to explore. I just got the hit that you got like, you know, you got a scalper keeping their eye on you. Like you got somebody who they've been watching you. They've been watching you. They've been watching your work. They know what you have to offer. They're interested in connecting with you. I think they're keeping an eye on you on social media. I think this person's going to step to you and they're going to make you some kind of offer to collaborate on some kind of business project. This is coming in. So you're going to be kind of caught up in this situation, honestly, for a bit. And this is what's going to kind of distract you a little bit from moving forward romantically. I would say, really look into this contract and look into this offer that they're making. If you need to get another pair of eyes on it, in particular, somebody who's in the legal field and can really help you spot loopholes or things that need to be addressed, things that need to be stated more clearly. I feel like there's something that's kind of trying to be sort of slipped in subversively into this contract that could put you in a disadvantageous position. So there's a need to get really clear about this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to want to go for this. Okay. I don't know if you're going to want to go for this. In some cases, this is you're dealing with, there's some new romantic interest you have, but you're closing out an old cycle with somebody that you shared assets with romantically. Some of you are in a process of dividing assets. This can be like the dissolution of a business where there were business partners. It can also be a case of the ending of a marriage, okay? And so there's something happening with the finances. I think that you might be worried, but you're going to come out on top in that situation. But there is some restructuring with some kind of contractual agreement around payouts, and it needs to be addressed because there's something's not quite on the up and up, and it could put you in a disadvantageous position if you let things just sort of ride the way they are. Let me do a cut of the deck energy on this and see what we got. I see, though, that when you get to the other side of this and you iron this out, once you head near that winter solstice, you got some Empress coming into your life. And here comes the message, okay? We got the Page of Wands coming in there. That's taking the action to reach out to this Empress, or this Empress reaching out to you. Empress is associated with the signs of Libra and Taurus, all right? And here comes the offer with the Knight of Pentacles. And we know the Knight of Pentacles, it's an offer that's sincere, and it's an offer that will grow, okay? It will grow and mature into that King of Pentacles and eventually that Ace of Pentacles, this brand new tangible beginning. But again, I feel like it's slow developing. It really takes root in the spring. And in the meantime, I think that the person who's on the receiving end of this message is going to be sorting out their feelings. I think they got a lot of stuff that they are sorting through at this time in their life. They're trying to make some clear decisions about how to move forward. So this is a situation that needs time and space and moving forward in a very, sure way. That's what I feel. I feel like there's a real connection here, and it's about moving forward in a way that there's a certainty in that connection, and that it's all about timing and just letting that timing flow naturally. But we see balance here. There's justice, okay? There is a good outcome in this situation, and where you're dealing with legalities, it will turn in your favor, right? That's also a Libra card, okay? So that's what I got for you all. It looks pretty good. There are some little bumps in the road, okay? Some things to hammer out around legalities and financial arrangements, but there's some love that's developing, and it's developing nice and slow and sweet. And, sometimes that's the best way. Build it on a good foundation, then you could really have something that lasts. But I see you going on some kind of romantic jaunt. It looks like some kind of vacation. I think you're going to drop in with this person and you're going to have a real magical time with each other. So that's something to really look forward to, Aquarius. All right. Just take it easy. Go with the flow. There's a lot of beautiful things coming in. Make sure that you're doing everything above board and tie up those loose ends, because it looks like you're about to head off on a brand new adventure.